Christ the King Artists, welcome to our first ever YouTube art class. Today we're going to be learning about water-resistant watercolor art, raindrops. Here is an example of what your finished work will look like. Now it's time for us to gather our supplies. You're going to need white crayon, watercolors, paintbrush, water, a paper towel, other crayons for your rainbow, and a white piece of paper. Let's go to step 1. Make sure you're working in a very well lit area so that you'll be able to see your white crayon on your white paper. I'm going to use purple so you can see the directions. We're going to start with a horizon line across your paper. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Next, we're going to add ovals. I'm going to add about 5. These ovals are going to represent our puddles that the rain drops into. Make sure that they're not circles, but they're ovals. Next, we're going to add our raindrop line. I'm using a broken line, and I'm also using some sideways line to show where the water has splashed and to show the movement of the water from the sky hitting the ground. We're going to repeat this step for all of our ovals. The lines don't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to add ovals inside my ovals, which demonstrates the ripples that the water makes when it hits the puddle. I'm adding little lines to show movement of the water all around. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Make sure you press good and hard so the white really shows through once it's time to paint. Now it's time to add our rainbow. Go ahead and grab your ROYGBIV colors: red, orange, yellow, blue, green, and purple. We're going to go ahead and start at our horizon line with our red and just gently make a nice line, and then we'll follow it up with our orange, yellow, and you guessed it, green. Next, I'm going to add some blue. I'm going to skip the indigo and I'm just going to go straight to purple. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Nice and light. Here comes my favorite part, adding watercolor. Okay, so what I didn't show you is I started with the bottom half and I painted a really nice light blue. What I did is I mixed my lightest blue with white and I painted directly over my white crayon ovals, which was the bottom half of my horizon line. Now I'm going to paint the sky. I'm going to mix blue with purple, and I'm going to paint the very top of my sky, which is probably the darkest part where the clouds are. And I'm just going to paint side to side, and I'm going to make sure that my brush strokes are consistent, going the same direction. Remember, the more water you have, the more space you can cover, and the less water you have, the more control you have. So over on the top, I'm going to kind of paint over my rainbow. It's going to show that my rainbow is going to be hidden behind those dark clouds. And then around the middle of the paper, I'm going to stop painting over the rainbow and I'm going to paint around it to show that the rainbow is peeking through. I'm going to do a bit of an ombre, so I'm going to mix purple and blue so I get more of a dark blue color. And it's okay if your white isn't showing up. I'm going to show you what to do once your sky is completed to get that white to peek through. It also starts to peek through more when the water dries. The water does not dry over the crayon, and the white becomes more prevalent. So I'm adding my dark blue. I'm going to do that and leave some space at the bottom to show that ombre where the color is getting lighter. My paintbrush is small. It's the only one I have at home right now because some of my paintbrushes are still in boxes and I need to find them. A tip is, if you don't love the color that you've come up with, you can always either grab that paper towel that you've had handy and dab some of it off, or you can mix whatever color you're using with white. And just remember too that you can always take your paper towel and wipe out your watercolor palette for a fresh start. There's no right or wrong. The sky is God's creation and it never looks the same way from day to day, from rainstorm to rainstorm. So just have fun with it. So now that I have my sky all painted, I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to kind of crumple it up and then dab all around. And this is a way to kind of take away your excess color. Let that white show through. If you made a mistake or if there's something you don't love, you can get rid of it. Remember, there's no bad mistakes in art. What you're going to notice is once you're done painting, it's going to look completely different when it's dry. Now I'm going to add some detail and value to my water puddles. I'm adding that same dark blue and I'm just painting a little around it to show that there's depth in that puddle and movement. Start dark. If you don't love it, wipe it away. And it's water. You're painting water with watercolors, so it's actually resembling what it would actually look like. So it's good if you make mistakes or if it gets really drippy. Your lines are your guide here, so just use those. And there you have it. Ta-da!